I think this is a really interesting unit. So we're going to talk about types of energy, and then we're going to talk about how energy can move from one form to the other. So before we start, I have some slides on energy that I think is important. But take a minute, talk to your neighbors, and see if you can come up with some different types of energy, different forms of energy. The more that you get, and we talk about here, the less slides we have to go through. So see how many you can come up with so we don't have to go through all the slides. I think I'm seeing some brainstorming. I'm hearing some people discussing. You guys, are you ready to throw some ideas up here? You need a minute?
Aren't supposed to write them on the board?
Oh, I will write them up. Here.
Oh, okay.
That's a good idea too. But I was planning to write them out there. Are you ready? Okay. What are some ideas that you have? What are some different forms of energy? Good. Light. Light energy. Good. Oops, I need to turn on my pen. Okay, good. What other forms of energy? Kinetic. Good. I almost heard genetic. That's probably an energy too. Kinetic. So what is kinetic energy? I think we know what light is, but good. Kinetic energy is something that's moving. Good. How many of you guys have taken physics? Good. All right. How many of you are taking physics next year? Okay, that's a good class. Learning about things moving. Good. Other types of energy.
Should I go down a whole list or should I go one at a time?
Probably just one at a time.
Okay. There's tension energy, which is like springs or levers. I know those
Okay.
are separate kinds.
Okay, I'm gonna call that elastic.
Elastic, yeah.
So that would be like springs. I think that I would call a lever something different. I think I would call that mechanical.
Oh, yeah.
But do you agree with that? Okay, I would call that mechanical. But I don't know how to spell that. I'm trying to say mechanical. I don't know how to spell it. All right, so that would be something like a lever or a simple machine, yep, or an engine. Okay, what other types of energy?
Thermal.
Good, thermal energy. Or we can also call that heat or lack of heat. Good. Other types of energy that you can think of.
Radiation.
Okay, good. So this kind of radiation kind of goes with light. And this light and radiation, we call this the electromagnetic spectrum. Have you heard of that? So we have different wavelengths, they have different energy. That's the electromagnetic spectrum. Good. And we're gonna talk about this for a whole day after spring break. Okay. Other types of energy.
Chemical energy.
Good. Chemical energy. Good. And this is what we talked about when we talked about bonds forming and breaking. Those bonds are storing chemical energy. So in a bond, when we form a bond, that's a way to store chemical energy. Good. Other types of energy.
Potential energy.
Okay, potential energy. So we have potential. Good. So this is usually when I think of potential energy, that I think of something that's really high, and if I dropped that, it could pick up some kinetic energy. So this is gravitational potential energy. So technically, chemicals are also potential energy. They're storing the energy, and they have the potential to do something. Or like a spring, when you pull that spring, it has a potential. So these are other types of potential. So that's why I'm specifying this is gravitational potential energy. Okay. Other questions, or not questions, other types of energy that you can think of. I think we've got a lot. Okay, let's run through these slides and see how we did. Okay, we got chemical, we got light energy, that's the electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic energy is just on the electromagnetic spectrum. Electrical energy is just like the lights are being powered by electricity. Anytime we have electricity, we have electrons moving, that's energy. Nuclear energy, we didn't talk about that one. We talked a little bit about it at the beginning. We'll also spend the day on that. Gravitational potential, we got that. Kinetic, we got that. Thermal, good, you guys got that. Sound energy is another type of energy. So we have, if I speak, then I'm compressing the air. That's energy, it travels to your ear, and then you can hear my voice. Okay. Conservation of energy, I forgot to erase this. We'll just use what we did yesterday. The conservation of energy is the energy that we start with is the energy that we end with. Okay. So along the way, usually we have some losses, but we have to keep track of that. So if I rub my hands together, I'm using energy. That energy is transferred into heat. So the energy that I start with, I have to end with. That's conservation of energy. So here is a question. Can I get out more energy than I start with? Good, I cannot, because that would be against the law of conservation of energy. Okay, so try it with your neighbors, think of one energy transferring to another type of energy. Are there any places that you can think of that? Think of just one or two examples of energy starting as one form, and then it changes into another form of energy. All right. What did you guys come up with? Can you think of any examples? Yeah, Matthew.
Chemical energy light energy to chemical energy photosynthesis.
Okay, very good. So the energy from the sun is converted into chemical energy when the plant makes food. Perfect, good. And then do you have another one? Do you want to share?
Kinetic energy, heat energy, reduce friction.
Okay, good, very good. So it sounds like you have a lot of ideas. Good. Okay, other ideas.
Electric.
Okay. Good. Kinetic to electricity. Good. Good. Very good. Okay. So let's think through together. So let's think about our phones. So this is what we're going to do as our assignment, but let's do an example together. So over here we have our phones. Okay. Our phones have a battery. So a battery is chemical energy. Okay. So then if I have a phone, what kind of energy can I get out from a phone? What does my phone do?
It creates light.
Okay, good light. Sound, good, that's energy.
Electricity.
Okay, we could,
The battery turns the chemical electricity into like.
good, yes, I agree with that. And then that's how like it knows what to do. Good. Anything else? I think is that all? Okay, and you can add more to that. Where does the phone get its chemical energy? So the battery's chemical energy. Where is the battery getting its energy? Good, from electrical. And then where does this electrical energy come from? And so what are you thinking?
A coal plant, where they run the coal and it spins the turbines.
Okay.
Like hydroelectricity.
Okay, so some kind of power plant. And you're probably going to have some kinetic energy. And then we use a generator to get to that electrical energy. Good. Okay. So let's think of, you said coal plant. Let's try that. So our power plant, maybe we're looking at a coal power plant. So where does this kinetic energy, where is this coal getting its, or how would we classify this coal? Let's do that. Let's say we got this from coal. What is coal?
Potential energy with chemical.
Good. This is our chemical energy. Good. And where did this coal come from? So let's talk about coal for a minute. Where did the coal come from?
Fossils.
Good. Fossils. So before that, they were living things, right? So they got their energy. So I would say that's chemical energy. We have to eat to live. I would probably say that's chemical. Someone could argue with me. That's fine. Okay, where do living things? So this is like plant matter that's been decomposed for a long time. So where do these living things, these plants, get their energy from?
Light.
Good. From light energy. They're getting it from the sun. So sun, light energy. Okay. What kind of energy is the sun?
Nuclear.
Good. Okay. And that's about where we can get to. Okay. But that's kind of interesting. The energy that we're using from our phones, we can map where that's coming from. Okay. All right. So that's our assignment for today. Okay, we talked about that. That's our assignment for today. So I want you to get into groups of, if you want to work by yourself, that's okay, or groups of 2 or 3, and you are going to pick something. So we picked phones on the board, so probably don't do phones, but pick, so like you could do a car, you could do your dryer, you could do like a light, and map out the energy that you get out of that device and the energy, where the energy is coming from for that device. So if you want to pick, you could pick coal, a coal power plant. You could pick a solar panel. You could pick a wind power plant. So you get to pick what kind of power plant you're getting your energy from, if you end up getting your energy from a power plant. Okay. So we're going to spend probably like half an hour to 40 minutes on this, and then once everyone's done and submitted, we will go through and you will share your map with us, okay? So this is going to be a group project. Before you turn it in on Canvas, let's go back, where are we? You need to join a group, so let me show you how to do that. On this side here in Canvas, the People tab is open again because we're doing a group assignment. You'll go to this product evaluation website. Oh, we did that already. No, energy transfer map. This is our assignment for today. and you're gonna join one of these groups. So if you're working by yourself, you don't need to do that, but you can have up to 3 people. Keep in mind, somebody's gonna have to come up and, or your whole group is gonna have to come up and share with us your map at the end. So you just should say something like join, and you just join. Okay. Questions on joining a group? Make sure you join, if you're in a group, make sure you join a group before you submit so that everyone gets that points. So you can do this on paper. You can do this in a Google Drawing. You can do this as a video or a Google slide. So however you as a group want to present your map, you can do that. What I want is for each of these to have a picture, okay? You need to label the picture with what type of energy it is. So this would maybe have a nuclear reaction. I maybe have a picture of the sun. I need to label the type of energy for each of the pictures. And I have a picture. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so go ahead and work on that. I will watch for submissions, and then as we all submit, then we'll start presenting them. So.
This will have to be electrical.
Nope. What do you think?
I was thinking of a candle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So then you just have to, that might be a little bit more tricky, but yeah, you just have to kind of figure out where is that energy coming from.
Oh.
Yeah, the energy pathway.